Mars 2020 Perseverance rover is getting the lay of the land after landing on the red planet a few weeks ago. I'm Marina Jureka with NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory in Southern California. I am joined by Perseverance integration lead for the helicopter, Farah Alibay. She coordinates the activities between the helicopter and the rover. And Ingenuity operations lead, Tim Canham. His job is to operate the helicopter once it's on the surface of Mars. Welcome, you guys.
Hi, Maria.
Thank you.
Now, Farah, what are the next steps for Perseverance?
We are just about getting ready for the helicopter mission here. We've passed our latest reviews and we're just finishing the checkouts of the mobility system and the arm on Mars, ready to support Ingenuity.
And Tim, you must be getting so excited for Ingenuity to stand on its own on the surface of Mars. What steps need to happen before that for you and your team?
Yes, we are definitely very excited. Right now, the helicopter is still attached to the rover, so we're keeping it warm and fed. We're charging the batteries, and we're also working with Farah's team to identify a final site for the helicopter.
Now, for both of you, there seems to be a lot of steps and preparations that go into the helicopter phase. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. Once we start the helicopter mission, the first thing that we have to do is drop the debris shield. That was the shield that protected us during entry, descent, and landing. Then we're going to travel several days to the helicopter drop-off location. Once we get there, it's actually going to take us about a week to deploy the helicopter. It's currently horizontal, and we have to go through several steps, and each one of which we want to image and have ground in the loop before we get to that very last step where we do that last separation between the rover and the helicopter and then drive away from it.
Yes, and our team is working very closely with Farah to make sure our plans are in place and all our commands are ready. And we've additionally been working with the rover team to identify the perfect site for the helicopter that should be flat with not too many big rocks on it, but also good texture so our navigation cameras can find their way across the surface.
A lot of things to look forward to. So to get the latest updates, follow @NASA Persevere on Twitter and Facebook. Take a deeper dive on the mission's website, mars.nasa.gov/perseverance, where you can also find all the raw images being sent back by the rover. And for the helicopter, visit mars.nasa.gov/technology/helicopter. Thanks so much for watching, and go Perseverance and go Ingenuity.
Well, hello everybody. This is Scott Roberts and Kent Martz here, and today Jerry Hubble was supposed to be with us, but he's still kind of a little bit under the weather. But we expect to have him back on our programs next week. So, sometimes actually Jerry and I were talking today, and he says he hasn't been sick for a couple of years, which is great. He doesn't have COVID. Anyways, I think he's got a cold or allergies or something, but he's under the weather, so we're just going to let him have some time off. We have a few things to talk about for upcoming attractions here with the Explore Alliance. One of them is the How Do You Know program with Daniel Barth. Sometimes I lose track of what I'm going to talk about for a little bit, but he is going to show how do you know and can prove that heliocentrism is a provable theory. So he's going to go through that. The download for the activity is already on the site. So if you go to explorescientific.com/how do you know, you can see that third program. And I know that Daniel wanted to, for those of you that do outreach and want to kind of follow along with how to do the activity, you're going to need to buy some ping pong balls. So the curriculum is free, and so that's that. today is also the day that Christian Huygens discovered the moon of Titan around Saturn. That was in 1655. And, you know, I like Christian Huygens for a couple of things. One of them is that, you know, he improved the eyepiece. You know, today if you buy an inexpensive telescope like you know, maybe a department store telescope with the really, what we would call the really cheap eyepieces, you'll notice that they say H on it, but those are Huygens eyepieces, okay? And what's cool about them is that, I mean, they were breakthrough optics in the time that he did this. So Huygens is kind of this Renaissance man. He's not only, you know, he's not only into you know, physics, but he is into you know, optics. He's into you know, he did all the stuff with oscillation principles and gravitational constants and all this stuff. Plus, he makes astronomical discoveries, of which the most famous one is the discovery of Titan around Saturn. But he also made these incredible telescopes. In his day, okay, this is before reflector telescopes. They're using refractive optics, okay, and but they had this problem, of course, of chromatic aberration, which is still something that is an issue today with amateur astronomers using refractors. We have achromats that amateur astronomers right now are solving the chromatic aberration puzzle by using narrowband images and doing incredible narrowband imaging. You know, if you look at Jason Gunzel's images, that guy's known as the Vast Reaches. A lot of his images, especially of the sun, are done with a Explore Scientific AR-152. This is a relatively fast F ratio. It's an f6.5 model, and yes, it has chromatic aberration. But by going into narrowband or going into monochromatic light, you don't care if it has chromatic aberration. But in Christian Huygens' day, they absolutely cared because you know, there was so much CA, as they call it, okay, that you know, they were trying to think of any way to do it. And this is one of the ways. I'll show you this image here. This is one of the ways they did it. This was called an aerial telescope. And so Christian Huygens and his brother developed this this system here, and you can see it's just a bunch of the objective lenses at the very, very top in like this iron assembly that had a gimbal on it, and then there are these field stops that were just out in the air. And look how long this thing was. It's incredible. And I assume that at the very end might have been a Huygens eyepiece as well. So, but incredible links that people were going through to eliminate chromatic aberration. We do it today with mirrored telescopes, and we do it also in refractors by making ED apos, of which we have several different models that you can look at. But you know, it's through the efforts of Huygens and many others that we're trying to find a way to get a better image all the way around. What else did I want to cover? I also wanted to cover, I just got notification from the people at the Cherry Springs, you know, astronomical, or the Cherry Springs Star Party. Doug Grove had just sent out just about an hour ago notification that the Cherry Springs Star Party would not be happening this year. They are going to push it off until next year in 2022, which will run June 2nd through the 5th. So there is that. And yesterday I covered Kent's program on the universe sampler, but it was Kent's presentation, so he did an excellent job. And anyhow, so what's on your plate, Kent?
Well, tomorrow we're going to have another universe sampler class, which I have not started working on because, as Scott probably told you, I was on vacation for 3 days, and I snuck out and didn't tell anybody basically, and just sort of let them stumble along. That's not true, but I got to go camp a little bit, catch some trout. So I may look sunburned. I'm not sunburned. I'm windburned. We was cloudy the whole time, but fly casting in 25-mile-an-hour winds can be somewhat of a challenge for you fly anglers out there. It was quite a challenge. So I used my spinning rod mostly, but some pretty bad wind. Anyway, so we haven't had any sales in a while. We've currently had the eyepiece sale that we talked about on last week. With some pretty good prices. The 100 degree 25 is was $849. Call it. I'm just going to talk in round numbers. $850, $699, so $700, $150 off. Heck of a price. But we also have some inexpensive or less expensive. The 52 degree 20 retails for 80, on sale for 70, so $10 off. The 5240, $159, retail for $129. These are all up on our website, and all the dealers have them as well. The 6214, $109, on sale for $89. The 6820, regularly $179, on sale for $149. And the 8265 LE, $250, on sale for $230. So we want to put something else on sale for Explore Alliance members. So for paid Explore Alliance members, and there used to be 2 paid levels. One was standard level, and then platinum. Everybody was buying the platinum so pretty well, so we went ahead and canceled the standard membership. But if your standard membership is still in effect, then this deal applies. We're going to offer the backpack, which I had up on my screen, but I clicked off and didn't get it on there. Of course, finding it now is going to be there. We go. I'll share my screen here.
Okay.
So there we go. Backpack is will handle an ED80 or a 102. The 102 if you remove the focuser, and we're making it easy for you to remove the focuser because we now have stainless steel thumb screws that will replace the set screws in the focuser where you attach the focuser. So it's easy to take it off and put it on. Don't have to have an Allen wrench. And if you look here on the website, you can pick that case for a 102, and it will come with this set of 4 thumb screws for free. It's a $99.99 value. We're going to have it on 25% off at $74.99 for Explore Alliance members. The sale is good from now until let's go through next Friday. What the heck? So through next Friday, so 2 Fridays from now. If you're an Explore Alliance member, shoot me an email at explorealliance@explorescientific.com. Explore Alliance @explorescientific.com. Give me your name and your contact information. I will give you a ring. We'll take care of the payment and get it off to you. So for Explore Alliance membership, $25 off the backpack. It's got, let me show you some pictures inside. Here's a picture of it with an ED80 inside of it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the focuser right there, and there's the diagonal. Plenty of room for other stuff around it. Eyepieces, kit, focus, red dot finder, things like that. So to join the Explore Alliance, you go to our website, click on Alliance, then go down to, I can't remember, Explore Alliance memberships. And basically what happens is we charge you $99.99, but we then send you a gift card for $100. So you get your money back, and you get extended care for all of your Explore Alliance, Explore Scientific gear. You also get access to deals like this. So if you aren't a member right now and want to join, you're going to get $100 back, and then you can spend 75 of that on the backpack, and you still have $25 to spare. So you might as well buy a couple of red light flashlights or a planisphere or something like that. Everybody can always use some kit.
We have the little eyepiece case.
Eyepiece cases. Yep, all sorts of little kit available there. So just looking at my calendar, I hadn't looked up the date. So the sale will end April the 2nd. Okay, so April the 2nd, this sale will end. And Scott and I have been talking about having a NEAF sale, which is coming up, what, April 10th, Scott? Is that correct?
April 10th, yeah. So we will, now NEAF is also going virtual, but we have videos up that, largely Kent made this time, which was great. And, but we will have our customer service reps available to take orders and that kind of thing, or to answer your questions on that, because it's on a Saturday. But we'll be there. And but tell them a little bit more about what's happening, Ken.
Happening where?
For NEAF.
Sorry. At NEAF?
Yes.
I don't have the schedule in front of me, Scott. There's a tremendous lineup of speakers all day long. I mean,
I can pull it up here.
it was, I can get it. You may have it quicker. I'll give it a shot. It's a race. So, they have a tremendous lineup of speakers. There is a fee for the speakers. Let me see. Thomas Zurbuchen, NASA Associate Administrator. Jerry Ross, NASA astronaut and spacewalker. Alex Young, NASA Associate Director of Science Heliophysics Division. Tom Mulder, Boeing Starliner. Samuel D. Hale, Executive Director, Mount Wilson. Diane Coleman, President of Yerkes Foundation. Edward Goonan, Villanova University, the dimming of Betelgeuse. That'll be interesting because that caused a whole lot of very popularized, brought people interest in astronomy. Jenny Randenbaugh, planetary scientist, Dragonfly mission. That's what we saw in the opening segment that Scott had. ISS 20th anniversary, and much, much more.
Yeah.
So there is a ton of fascinating science speakers going to be at that. Mark off the 10th.
Plus, you're going to have all these, suppliers, telescope manufacturers and stuff. They will be there, available for you. They're doing this pre-recorded, but you'll be able to still link in and talk to people through special links that will be on their page. So you'll want to watch this. And if you miss a particular lecture or whatever, it's going to be all archived on YouTube anyways. But, there's, NEAF is now, goodness, I think it's I can't remember. I mean, it's been going on for decades now. And it is one of the amazing events that has been held for amateur astronomers, but it's also probably, I can only think of maybe one or two other events that happen in the world where it's like a trade show for the telescope industry. NEAF is really it for the United States. There is another event that happens in Europe, and I think there's an event that happens, now I'm talking about in Germany when I say Europe. I think there's another event that happens in England as well. So a few places in the world where you can see these kinds of manufacturers getting together, and NEAF is probably the most famous of them.
So we're going to look at what we have available in stock, because we were talking about putting something else on the sale for Explore Alliance, and I looked at our inventory levels and was like, nope, not doing that. Specifically, we were going to put on the 2-man observatory tent, and those have sold like hotcakes.
They're almost sold out.
They're not sold out, but we're darn close to being sold out.
Yeah.
But those are proven to be a popular item. That we're starting to get some feedback from customers, and they look like they're doing what we planned for it to, which is always a good thing to hear from the customers, most assuredly. So, but if you're stuck on the fence about the 2-room observatory tent, pop-up observatory tent, I'd say get off the fence and get onto the tent side of the yard, and get your purchase in, because we've got an order for more in, but it takes time to get those processed and back to us. So don't hesitate on something like that.
I'm glad that they don't make the aerial telescope anymore, because if we had to make a 2-room observatory tent for that thing,
For what?
I don't think it would be the pop-up model.
What for? What tent?
for the aerial telescope for this thing.
Oh yeah, I was looking at that thing. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 24. There's 24 baffles. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 20. There's 24 baffles on that. And if you look, say they're 4 feet apart, that thing's huge.
Yeah.
It's pushing 100 feet long.
Right. They said, they describe it being extremely difficult to operate.
Well, you think what the pointing that thing hanging from a gimbal, I just can't imagine.
Yeah. And plus, then the eyepiece and everything's held down there. You get a little bit of breeze. That whole thing's got to be shaking like crazy.
The go-to system was getting 10 of your buddies to push and pull.
That was the go-to system.
Yeah.
So some of us complain sometimes about how hard something is to use. You look at an apparatus like that, okay, darn near impossible to use, and even Galileo's telescope, with its tiny apparent field of view and its eyepiece, I think that the apparent field of view is something like 20 degrees or something. It's just crazy small. It looked like you were looking down a hose into the sky or something,
Soda straw, a long soda straw.
Exactly.
Imagine something like, I think it was the Leviathan. That's basically a meridian telescope where you can't move it left and right. You just have to get it in the right position, and then it goes across the field of view, and you're done until tomorrow night. I can't imagine doing something like that.
Right. Pekka is up with us today. I want to recognize some of the other people that are on here. Mike Wiesner was the first to log in. Says hello from cloudy and windy Arizona. Harold Locke says good afternoon from cloudy Southern California. James the astrophotographer, good afternoon. What fantastic images. Congratulations to the winners. I think that maybe some of this chat is from yesterday, where we showed the astrophotographs of not only the winners, but everybody that participated in our astrophotography contest. We get down to Aaron Thompson. He says he's checking in. Harmony Smurf says one of his favorite physicists, I think he's talking about Christian Huygens. Yes, he's an amazing, that guy was a Renaissance man. I mean, you read about all of his accomplishments and everything. Really incredible. Let's see.
Jim,
what's that?
As I said, Jim Norwood says, wondering if we have a container ship stuck in the Suez Canal. No, we don't.
No,
Both good and bad. At least if we did, we'd have stuff on the way and we'd know it. But yes,
probably drive down to the Panama and go get it, or the Suez Canal.
Suez Canal. Yeah, if it was the Panama Canal, we'd take a truck and go down and get it. Yeah,
go down and get it, exactly.
Yeah.
Still a pretty much of a haul. Pekka asks, why doesn't the United States just buy Sweden as the 51st state? So I can be on those amazing events as citizens of the United States of America. Pekka, you're invited anytime, you know? You don't have to, we don't have to go through such links here. So.
Yeah, and you don't have to clear customs. You can just log on. That's the cool part.
That's true.
I guess, Pekka's got an invitation to come on anytime, but I guess for the people who come on for the first few times, I am customs. When they come through
the customs, that's right.
I'm the customs agent with the waiting room. Yeah.
The reason why we have the waiting room is because occasionally we have some people that are not quite prepared, okay? And during the last Global Star Party, I didn't think I was going to tell anybody this, but we did have this kind of strange thing happen. A person appeared on the Zoom waiting room, okay, which is not connected to the Global Star Party, so you couldn't actually see this. We did not broadcast this, but there was a gentleman there with his shirt off, okay, just staring into the camera. Didn't say a word, just stares in the camera.
And what?
Tyler was just like shocked.
As I say, what did Tyler do?
He cuts. He cuts, he's out, he's gone, so.
Probably lucky he was just with his shirt off.
Yeah, so that was pretty strange. But anyways, shirt is required.
Even if you're Fabio?
If Fabio came on, maybe, that's kind of...
Or let's just say right? Fabio 20 years ago, maybe.
30 years ago.
30 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's that guy from Trailer Park Boys, who was, hanging out with the manager of the trailer park, and he never wore a shirt, so to see him with a shirt, you wouldn't recognize him, right? So there you go. Anyhow, we digress, okay? I'm still very... amazed at all the talks and stuff that we had at the last Global Star Party. Just really super stuff. John Briggs was on. I know that that David Eicher and David Levy were really excited to see him appear. We'll have John Briggs on again because the dude has so many incredible, interesting stories from his time in Antarctica to the great observatories he's worked at and stuff like that. And he's just... he's just this wonderful guy. He mentioned, I guess people have called him Santa Claus at times because he just has this really jolly demeanor about him, which is totally cool. And so knowledgeable and so, interesting, so we're looking forward to having him.
So Scott, what kind of reach are those star parties getting?
I just looked at overall reach of what we've been getting over the last 28 days, and this is just Facebook. Of course, we're simulcasting. We're on the homepage of cloudynights.com. So thank you very much for the good people at Cloudy Nights and Astronomics who support that. But in the last 28 days, we've had nearly 90,000 people reached. Out of that 90,000, you can kind of think of that as like if you were in the magazine business, your subscriber base being 90,000, okay? How many people read your article, okay? Well, the Global Star Party article, okay, got about 35,000 views in aggregate, so out of the last several that we've run here, so... when we do a Global Star Party, we not only share that on our own pages and stuff, because it's an outreach program. We share it also with astronomy groups, so I typically will share it with a couple of dozen astronomy groups that I belong to. And then a lot of you in the audience are also sharing it, so that's great. We love that. We hope it's educational and entertaining it's not everybody's bailiwick. Not everyone is into amateur astronomy, but I think that with the variety of people that we have on, the variety of topics we touch on, the live images, sometimes art, sometimes music, sometimes who knows what. We get surprises sometimes on the Global Star Party. Uh, you know, it is, as far as having something that almost everybody can, there's something almost for everyone at Global Star Party. So it's great, and we really appreciate all of you that do share it and have subscribed to it and that kind of thing. It's awesome. Also, we invite you to be on those programs, and so every Global Star Party we do share the Zoom login for going into our waiting room where we check out your audio and video. Generally, Kent is there. Sometimes Tyler's there, but we make sure that you're ready to roll. You've got a topic to talk about or something to share about astronomy. We want you to stay on topic.
No politics.
What's that?
No politics.
No politics. It's not a religious platform. It's not a political platform. So there are times, however, where something, if it's in relation, if that's not the basis of your conversation, but it's incidental to your conversation about astronomy, how maybe politics affected the outcome of in the case of Galileo, for example, there was a lot of politics involved with him, and in the case of John William Draper, he wrote a whole treatise on astronomy and religion and why they were kind of at opposite ends. It actually, I just watched a YouTube kind of mini documentary about this. There were a couple of guys that had written things that made the general public believe that science and religion were at polar opposites, and that there was inherently, there's just no way that, and it's interesting because it was both kind of the, when historians really go through it, that was not the case. That was not the case, and there was these ideas were the author's personal views, pretty much, instead of being fact of the time. So it's pretty interesting. But anyhow, that's kind of all I'll say about that. And so we've got who else do we have coming up? We've got Chris Impey, who will talk about. He wrote a book called "Humble Before the Void," and most of us would know what that means as we've stood, under the Milky Way sky, maybe look through our telescopes at distant galaxies and stuff, and we get that feeling of how small we are in comparison to the cosmos at large, and this perspective and all the rest of it. But he takes this. Chris is a cosmologist. He's a professor at University of Arizona, and he's currently making. They're making large mirrors at this point at University of Arizona, and so I had originally reached out to him to talk about mirror making at University of Arizona. But this book, Humble Before the Void, struck a note with me, and I asked him to talk about that. This particular book is his journey to meet with Tibetan monks, okay, who he taught, I guess, had taught cosmology to. I'm supposed to get the book here in a couple of days, but he will be talking with us live about the book and his experiences and what the journey that led to those experiences in early April. I think it's April 6th. So, and what else do we have coming up, Kent?
Summer. Hopefully.
That's right. The summer Milky Way is coming,
Yes, absolutely. And that is something to be excited about.
right?
Orion has left us pretty well. There's just lots going on. I had looked at the April astronomical events last Friday and meant to cherry pick a few things off of it to talk about and haven't and didn't do that. But there's always plenty going on, and things people forget about are, is Mercury. I really, want to, Mercury is one of those planets that most of us don't really look at very often. It's hard to see. You got to have a clear horizon to do it, but it's very, it's up all the time in the morning or evening on a real regular basis. But you don't hear people talking about Mercury too much. It's
If you got a telescope, you can generally find it even through some haze.
Right.
But seeing it naked eye is really rare. I've seen it naked eye a couple of times, but I knew exactly where to look.
Right.
If I didn't know what I was looking for, I definitely would not have seen it.
Yeah. And even on the clear, you go back, the ancients knew about Mercury, and knew it was a wanderer, knew it was a planet. But for them to be able to see it, I guess when you don't have Game Boys and television and, radio to listen to, you just sort of look at the sky for the evening, go, oh, look, there's something bright, and figure it out. So anyway, I haven't talked about light pollutions. I guess you could talk about the politics of light pollutions on the Global Star Party. That would be fair game, wouldn't it?
I suppose. Yeah, go ahead.
I have to say something every time. Just driven to do it. Figure out ways to act locally.
Dark skies, that's for sure.
Act locally and think globally.
Yes.
Talk to your neighbors about it. There's a couple of there's a national military park and a state park here in Northwest Arkansas that I'm working on mobilizing some committees in my astronomical society to assign people to have them become urban, sky parks through the International Dark Sky Association. And certainly we'll be leaning on Mike Wiesner, who is probably listening right now, and he and I have talked about this. So, it's about awareness. And, I found the National Park Service is very willing and open to doing the things necessary to achieve, some certifications. I'm going to be approaching the state parks about it as well, but find ways to do stuff like that. There's ways to raise awareness that's not talking about, get rid of your lights, because that's not what this is about. This is about control your lights. Nothing more, nothing less. Okay, I'm done.
You're all done, huh? Okay. I was writing that that those Explorer Alliance membership, discount programs that we offer are redeemable either through us directly or through our dealers. So you can do that, but you do need to call. We can help arrange all that. To join, I'm putting up the link right now, so you can see that. And if you have any questions about membership or how to become a member or how does it benefit you personally to be a member, you give us a call and we can walk you through it. And if you have ideas of benefits that you would like to see or anything of that nature, please let us know.
Well, and if you have a favorite dealer that you like to go through, if you tell me to credit your favorite dealer with the sale of the Explorer Alliance, I'll do that. And if you want to route the purchase of this backpack, for instance, through your favorite dealer, all in on that. We'll make it happen.
Sure.
They don't have to do anything except be your dealer, and we'll give them the sale.
Yeah.
Because we want people in this program.
Yep, that's right. And I also want to remind everybody that the next astrophotography contest, this one being with smartphones, is either active today or about to be active. So just wanted to let you know about that. And I'm really excited about it because we're going to show a lot of cool things that can be done with smartphones. And, there's still people that are amazed and look at a smartphone image, celestial image, and they're just like, how in the world did you do that? So all very cool. But until that time, unless you have something else you'd like to cover, Kent, or does the audience have anything more they would like to ask? Let's see. Let's double check here. Someone asked about the membership. We put up the link. I think that's it. I think that is it. Yeah. If you're at all interested in the things that Christian Huygens did, look up Wikipedia or a number of other astronomical websites. There's lots about him, don't think so badly about those cheap eyepieces that you see on little telescopes, because they all came from this genius. So
when he designed them, it was revolutionary.
Oh, it's mine. Yeah, it was huge. It was huge.
Yeah.
He was the making the the best eyepieces in the world at the time. So, but we do get spoiled by the amazing technology that's available to us today. So, but doesn't mean that the old tech was bad.
I always wonder what those guys would think if they looked through a modern telescope.
Oh my God! Yeah.
What would their reaction be? Just
Christian Huygens would be holding his eyepiece and look through mine and go, "Oh, that's too wide," or go, "Oh my God," and throw his eyepiece over his shoulder or something. I don't know.
I'm sure there would be culture shock.
Absolutely, there would be. Yeah, we would probably be accused of being witches or something, or
black magic, alchemists. And I will say, plate solving is as close to alchemy as I've ever seen. I understand it. It's amazing to watch, but it's still alchemy. It's like turning lead into gold. It's amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
Well, folks, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back on tomorrow with Kent. He will be covering Universe Sampler on the First Light Chronicles. Until then, you guys have a good evening and keep looking up.
Hi, I'm Kent Marks with Explore Scientific. Today we're going to talk about eyepieces. When you're out visual observing, the telescope is half the equation. The other half of the equation are eyepieces. The Explore Scientific family of eyepieces are waterproof, which means they're easy to clean and other atmospheric disturbances do not affect them. The eyepieces come in these decorative Wilterian planisphere boxes, the blue one or the white one. The newest member of the family of Explore Scientific eyepieces is the 52-degree eyepiece. We developed it in response to customer requests. The other members of the family are the 62-degree eyepiece, the 68-degree eyepiece, the 82-degree eyepiece, the 92-degree eyepiece, the 100-degree eyepieces, and the astonishing 120-degree 9mm eyepiece, which immerses you in the night sky. To take a look at our family of eyepieces, or to buy them, go to explorescientific.com and click on the Eyepiece tab.
Hi, I'm Nikki Cox, the Spacecraft Operations Engineer. I've been lucky enough to work for U.S. Space Command in the commercial space industry as well, and now I'm at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory working on the Mars 2020 Perseverance rover. Don't forget to visit NEAF, the virtual experience, April 10th, 2021. It's the world's largest space and astronomy expo. Go to neafexpo.com. I hope you have a great time.